Larry Sharpe, former libertarian gubernatorial candidate for New York. Larry, if you were governor of Texas, what would you be doing right now? As I'm seeing articles, Texas National Guard flies "come and take it" flag as border tensions grow.
Well, look, the reality of it is, as you'll hear me say often, desperate people do desperate things. When the federal government fails to do its job, the state government has to step in. When you don't get what you want, you go off and do stuff. And I get why. Look, I don't like the idea that states are fighting with the federal government. It's not a good thing to be happening, but I get it completely. And I think if I was governor of Texas, I'd be doing something very similar. I would be saying, look, if you won't do it, I will. It's not a crazy idea at all. I think it's a normal idea.
Depending on what media you read, you get a very different perspective. Not shocking that that happens with
Mhm.
obviously many issues that have controversy attached. Slate is a very, I think, left leaning.
What? No way.
I don't want to stereotype, but yeah, I would say
They're
Slate
not
is.
part of the Daily Wire. Are you kidding me? Okay. I must have missed that one.
I would say they're on the opposite end of the spectrum.
Okay.
And they're kind of making it sound like that Governor Abbott's making it worse because he's making it
Yes.
harder on businesses. He's making it harder on citizens who just want their life back, that they're all being used as a pawn. So what do you think about that argument?
I think it's true and not. And what I mean by that is it's true that they're being used as pawns. That's accurate, 100%. Politicians always use citizens as pawns. This is no exception to that rule. So that part is true. But the problem is now you have people who are trying to make it as if the border isn't that big of a deal. But the polls show us that it is. A lot of Americans care about the border now. And one of the reasons is guys like Abbott and guys like DeSantis sent a bunch of migrants to my state, New York. And we went, wait a minute. Whoa. We love migrants when they're in your state. We don't like them when they're in our state. So now we aren't happy too. So this is an attempt to say, if you are against this idea of stopping the border, you're kind of a bad person. You're trying to hurt people. This is a way of trying to get away from the logical issue of it and trying to hit an emotional piece. And to be forward with you, Allison, you know this. You're in media. Sometimes it does work. Sometimes people start going, wait a minute. Yeah, see, it's the mean people. My mayor, brilliant when it comes to wordsmith. He calls the migrants coming to our city, he calls it, let's see if I can get it right. It is a asylum seeker humanitarian crisis. Come on, that's some good wordsmithing right there. That's good, right? So all of a sudden now they're not migrants, they're not illegal aliens, they're not undocumented workers, none of those things. They're seekers of asylum. Well done.
It's like it's just like killing grandma during COVID. If you wanted to keep your business open or you
Correct.
refuse to wear a mask everywhere.
You get
You
it
just
exactly.
or
If
teachers, you
you
wanna go back to school, you hate teachers, you just wanna kill
correct.
teachers.
Yes. So it's a similar idea. However, again, we have to recognize something. It's not like Abbott, and not that I'm a massive Abbott fan, right? I mean, he's another governor who does what governors do. But it's not like he said, I'm just going to call the National Guard out on this. This has been years in coming, right? This has been a problem for a long time. And the Biden administration has basically ignored it. They've ignored it both in rhetoric, they've ignored it in everything. They've just ignored it. Well, if you ignore the border, you wind up ignoring the country. So you people are going to do something about it.
All right. Well, what do you think about a potential conflict between Texas and aligned states, South Dakota, Florida? Is this a possibility that there becomes some kind of armed conflict like this "come and take it" flag? Are we just watching drama happening, political drama unfolding, or is there's something
Yes.
brewing
Yeah,
here? And let
you
me let
just
me
got
add
it.
to this
Political drama.
real fast, Larry. Let me add to this before you answer that.
Please.
Because I saw Tucker Carlson tweet about where are the men of Texas? Where are the men of Texas? Why aren't you standing up and Bridget Fedesi wrote back, well, why don't you come help us and fight like a man, bro? Come down and join the ranks. So what is this? Just like I said, is it just drama? Is it drama like January 6th, though, where you might have some people join in and start getting really razzed about it and then actually do something they're going to potentially regret down the road? Is this a trap? Like, what do you think about this mounting tension between states' rights and the federal government, which is how it's being portrayed?
Are you asking me if there are feds infiltrating this, trying to get people in jail? 100% yes. Yes, 100. There's no doubt. I would bet. I'll bet my house. I don't care. What you name the thing to bet, I will bet. There's no doubt there are federal agents right now, like among the people going to the border trying to figure out, yeah, we got to go do bad things so that I can put more people in jail and I can get promoted. No doubt. I'm sure that's happening. But is this drama? It is drama, yes. But it's drama for both sides. Do I think there's going to be some type of massive war or military conflict? No, I don't. I don't think that's going to happen at all. Do I think there could be something like Jan 6 where sporadic people start doing bad things, they're going to be unhappy about beating up border people or something? Yes, I think that the odds are high. I think the federal government is encouraging that, wants that to happen. Because remember, anytime there is any type of rebellion at all, the thing the federal government does best is make that person look crazy or mean or evil or bad. Remember, rebellion is bad, compliance is good, period. That's how it works. And if you rebel, it's because you're somehow crazy or weird or want to hurt people, bad, evil. So yes, I think that will happen. However, in the long run, what's going to happen is there'll be some type of deal. This drama is created so there can be some type of deal made so both sides can claim two things. They can claim they are both the victim and the victor. And that's what they both want, the double Vs. They want to be a victim and the victor. And the last piece they want to be is the vindicator. So they are the victor, the vendor, all the Vs that they can possibly be. And they can say, see, if you're on the right, you go, Biden was beating us up, but because of our patriotic stuff, we got this deal done. If you're on the left, you go, oh, these crazy separatists were trying to stop us, but because Biden was so good, he got the deal done. Either way, both sides claim victory and nothing actually changes, except some people who are trying to do good wind up going to jail.
All right, Larry, we titled the video how the military-industrial complex will win the border. At least that's how I decided to title it. So I want you to explain that, given what I think your perspective is on all this. But as you're brewing your response there, don't forget, separatist wine, I'm not sure I'd go that far. I would definitely call it extremist. No, don't. No. I don't need the federal government coming in and rounding up my wine.
Yes.
Get it while you still can, though, since I already said that, and I know they're monitoring me. AllisonWinePromo.com, extremist altitude wines. You're living in your grandma's basement. You're thinking about going down to the border and joining the militia down there. You know what? Stop for a second, take a few deep breaths, have a nice glass of wine, and think, is this really something that you want to do? Okay? If you do, please let me know. I would like to interview you for the show. If you don't, get some AllisonWinePromo.com and enjoy your free time at home in your grandma's basement and be an extremist simply by drinking this amazing wine from extreme altitude regions of Argentina. You get 50% off the wine and 50% off shipping. By far my favorite wines. You can't get them at the grocery store. Why would you want to? They pair very well with the grandma you unfriended on Facebook, with the shot that you chose not to get and the person who fired you over it, all that stuff. This is your friend, AllisonWinePromo.com. It's a great glass of wine that will give you just a little reprieve from everything that is going on around you right now. Thank you to everybody who is already—
One more thing I got to add to this.
Yes.
Can I add one more piece?
Please.
That guy who is trying to get you to go get your AR and go down there, that guy, what I want you to do is I want you to have a drink with him, record it, and see how he gives himself up.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. So sit there, let him give it this way. When they arrest you, you can say, no, this guy entrapped me. There we go. So this will save you. This wine can save you from prison. That is how important this wine is.
Oh man, Larry, what did we say the last time we were on and we were promoting it? Was something like they're going to get me on trying to get people drunk and taking over the United States. With, right, yes. I can't remember, but anyways, it's not going to end well for me eventually someday on these promos. All right. Anyway, go to AllisonWinePromo.com and help with my legal fund. Larry, you were saying that you say the military-industrial complex is always going to win,
correct,
no matter what. So what am I missing here when I'm watching this and I'm just jumping on the right bandwagon or the left bandwagon?
What you see all the time is There has to be conflict. Why? Conflict allows us to spend money on hardware, bodies, and surveillance. Those are the three things that the military industrial complex wants to do. Some kind of hardware, some kind of surveillance, some kind of, physical security or something like that. They make tons of cash off of this, right? So the war in Ukraine for America seems to be winding down. Many Americans don't like that war anymore. That's not the cool war anymore. The Israeli war was a sexier war. That might not be that sexy anymore. Depends on what side you go to. But the border, oh my God. If you got to send out the armored cars and rebuild fences, Abbott said it. As they tear it down, he's rebuilding them. Somebody has to pay for that. Somebody has to build that. Those are military-industrial complex contractors. They're the ones who will put on the new surveillance, who put up the new wall, who put more bodies, more guns, more drones are the thing of the day now. They'll be building drones by the thousands, whatever it is, they will do it. And that will be the deal that will come. And I promise you, there will be a deal. The right says no, the left says no, 100% lies. They absolutely will make a deal. And when they make a deal, it will be X billions of dollars. Those dollars are going to go, oh, great. That means we're giving money to Border Patrol. No, we're not. That's X billions of dollars going to a military industrial contractor to somehow build something, give something, that kind of thing out. It will be a gift to the military industrial complex. And they will make sure there is a deal, which is why I'm telling you, no matter what your Republican or Democratic congressperson tells you, there will be a deal, because the military industrial complex is far more important than you are.
Someday the only way you may be able to reach me is through the actual mail. Well, that is if the Postal Service survives. I heard UPS just laid off a bunch of people. P.O. Box 3355, Denellen, Florida 34432. Thank you to everybody who has been sending me mail. I really love reading the notes. I like seeing pictures of your family. Just don't send anything edible. I'll dump it out thinking it's got anthrax, and no creepy letters. You cut out the magazine letters and everything. You say you're going to kill me. That's also not something I'm looking for. I'm looking for winning lottery tickets, loose pocket change. You know what? Even your loose lint from your pocket. That's also good. But a few quarters, couple bucks, you want to support the show that way. You're not a wine drinker, not a coffee drinker. We probably won't get along, but, we'll never meet if all you do is just send me some mail, and I'll think you're a very nice person for supporting me there. P.O. Box 3355, Denellen, Florida 34432. When we head over to Locals, where you can join my editorial board for $5 a month and put your questions in ahead of time for interviews, go one-on-one with the most censored people on the internet. Thanks everybody on the editorial board. Matthew says this is definitely an international or global push to erase borders for the West strictly, reallocation and redistribution, and the illegals are winning good services as a priority over citizens. So this seems a narrow view to focus on the military, as the military is ordered by administration to assist in whatever design is being written. Skewed view, global directive. It is, however, a very libertarian view. What do you think about that, Larry, regarding your military-industrial complex winning?
Yeah, the issue is there's no doubt there are a group of people in the Libertarian Party who think open borders, open them all, who cares? That's true. That's not my view, and the majority of libertarians do not believe just open the borders. Don't get me wrong, some do. You can find libertarians who will be like, borders are dumb, open up them all, 100%. Does exist. We'll make sure that's clear. I think most libertarians want what, to me, seems to make sense. You have a border, but you have a controlled border with vibrant, immigration, but you just control it. The plan I've come up with more than once, if anybody wants to review it, you can see it, is an Ellis Island style plan, to where everybody who wants to come into the country has to go through an Ellis Island, which is literally 2 or 3 private companies, recruiting companies, who bring you in. The people going there pay a fee, or the people who want them as employees pay the fee, like it's done right now. It's a current business model in recruiting. They make money. Government doesn't pay any money. I am a libertarian. I don't want you paying any more taxes. No more taxes. People move through. It's controlled. Now people say, well, then bad guys will come through. Yes, bad guys won't go through the Ellis Island because they'll get caught, which means the only people crossing the border will be bad guys. And then our Border Patrol can go get the bad guys and stop becoming babysitters for families, which is what they are now. Not just that, there's about a 3 million person backlog in asylum-seeking cases. And we know that the majority of those asylum-seeking cases are not actually economic migrants, right? So why would I want to have my court system backed up like this, paying all these fines and fees? It makes no sense. Put it through an Ellis Island. It can absolutely work. It's a much better way. If you actually are an asylum seeker, that's fine. Go through that process. But the vast majority are not actually asylum seekers. Some are. I'm going to be clear. Those people do exist. It's just very few. The vast majority is just economic migrants. So I think that is an important piece.
Going back to the Newsweek article, speaking to Newsweek, Daniel Miller, president of the pro-independence Texas nationalist movement, said he believed the border standoff had boosted support for Texas leaving the U.S., which he brands
Yep.
Texit. I interviewed somebody a couple years ago who, I guess she was an ANCAP, an anarcho-capitalist,
Mhm.
and was pro, what would you call it? I don't remember what we were talking about. Like separatism wasn't the word we were using back then, but basically having kind of a peaceful dissolution
The
of
national
dissolving
divorce.
the borders.
They called it a national divorce.
National divorce. There you go.
Yep.
National divorce.
Yep, I
So
remember.
what do you think about that as a possibility? Not necessarily, or does that bring us back to the question I asked you about war between, the states? Because I'm looking over at Dave Collin, for instance, professor over at Cornell University, very interesting guy, has an opinion on basically everything, kind of like you, Larry. Very smart as well. And he tweeted that it is getting exciting looking at this map of Texas here, and then announced support are the other reds and sending troops. So that's I mean, I don't know. That kind of like half and half. So I'm just looking at this like are we moving in that direction potentially?
Well, Dave is very smart, but I'm better looking. So that's, I guess, an important piece. We make sure that
I'm not going to
distinction
argue
is
on
there.
that one.
But he is smarter than me. That's true. But anyway, in any case, no. Again, I don't think right now we are anywhere near that point. Right. The reality of it is, the people who sent are basically every Republican governor except for like Vermont or something like that. Right. It's basically Republican governors. This has become a party issue, as everything's become partisan. Right. So
Is
if
it
you're
because of the
Republican,
election?
yes, it's because of politics. Yes, it's politics. 100%. This is why they're even fighting on having a deal done, right? What Republicans don't want to do is give Biden a win. What Biden doesn't want to do is give Republicans a win. That's the number one issue. Our safety, whatevs. Our economics, whatever. If that happens to work, good. If not, whatever. We don't care. That isn't an issue. So I think that's what this is actually about. Now, does it look ominous? Yeah, of course. But at the moment, look, is there a chance that one day it'll happen? Maybe, but we're not there right now at all. People will tell you all the time, well, no, in a constitution, we can separate. The Civil War proved that to be no. 600,000 dead Americans says no. That's not how that works. The government will probably fight to keep it because it wants to keep its power. Do you think the federal government's going to get rid of California or Texas's GDP? No way. They want to keep that. That's their money. They look at that as their money. I know you as a citizen think it's your money. They as a government, that's their money. They let you have some of it. That's how they think about it. So you're messing with their money. They're keeping the states, every one of them.
All right, Larry, where should people go to find you?
Everything Larry Sharpe. That's it. Larry Sharpe Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. Larry Sharpe YouTube. Larry Sharpe Rumble. Larry Sharpe everything. Larry Sharpe YouTube is my favorite. Larry Sharpe YouTube is my favorite. Please go to Larry Sharpe YouTube. Larry Sharpe everything. That's where I am. I'll be interviewing someone tomorrow, Thursday evening. A gentleman named Dexter Taylor. He is a gentleman out of Brooklyn who was arrested for making his own guns legally. But New York State says we're going to put you in jail for 18 years, even though the U.S. Constitution says no, even though the Supreme Court says no. New York State says yes.
That's interesting. All right. Well, everybody tune in for that. Larry, it's always a pleasure. Thanks again for taking the time to come on. I hope you guys have a great Wednesday, and we'll see you next time.